Compare and contrast polygons. Your learning target today is I can compare and contrast polygons, and you'll know you're successful when you can find 2 to 3 similarities and differences between two polygons by looking at their attributes. Graders, today for our activity for math today, we are going to be working with geometry still and those polygons that we've been learning about. So today you are going to get something that looks like this. It's called geometric observations, and you're only going to worry about the top half unless if you'd like to do more. I'll talk about that in a minute. But what this will be is you are going to use this chart to fill in similarities and differences between two different shapes. So you'll be using this piece of paper to pick out two polygons of your choice, and then you'll be comparing them and then contrasting, which means finding the difference. So for an example, so don't use my same example, try to use a different one. I'm going to pick these two shapes that I'm going to show you that I just circled in blue. What you will do is you will cut out the polygon the best that you can, whichever two that you choose, and you will glue them on top for similarities and differences, okay? And so, what are some similarities between these two shapes? So what I would do is I would try to find 3 things that are the same about these shapes. I'm going to try to find one so that if you did decide to use these same polygons, I'm not giving everything away. So, and I'll leave you to find the rest. So with these, right away I know that this is a rhombus and then this is a parallelogram, because this looks like that slanted square and that looks like that slanted rectangle, right? They look similar to those shapes, but they're curved or slanted, so they're not the same. But they're quadrilaterals, and we do know that. So what's similar between the rhombus and the parallelogram? Something that's similar is that they have no right angles, okay? That means none of their angles look like that L, like that perfect L shape, that 90-degree angle. None of those have a 90-degree angle. So that's what I would write down for my similarity. So what's a difference between these shapes? So a difference that I notice is that the rhombus has that all their sides are equal. But for the parallelogram, like a rectangle is, I see the opposite sides are the same length. Okay, so they have the long side and the other long side, those are the same length, and then so are the top and the bottom. With the rhombus, all the sides are the same shape, or the same length, excuse me, like a square, right? So that would be a difference. And that's what I would write down. And I would try to find 3. Now, depending on the polygon that you choose, you might find a polygon, you might choose to do a polygon like a triangle, and then a polygon like a hexagon. You know, 2 polygons that are really different from each other. So that you might only be able to find 2 for each, a similarity and a difference. And that is okay. But depending on what you choose, try to find 3. But if it's really a tricky 2 shapes that you picked, then you only need to do 2. So if you are feeling like you want to challenge yourself, you can always do another pair of 2 different shapes and then do it again. But for today, you only need to worry about just doing 1. So remember, your learning target today is I can compare and contrast polygons, and you're successful when you can find 2 to 3 similarities and differences between two polygons by looking at their attributes.